This is Mouse Cat Am, so if I say anything like shush Mouse Cat, it's because she's being cute and making noises. Hi there, I'm Sonia, welcome to my channel, and I'm here to show you today a balloon concept which I used in creating this beautiful balloon crocodile. And this balloon crocodile. So hey, I have just got back from doing a job today and I've been thinking about how much I've missed you and how I would love to do a balloon tutorial for you. So if you haven't seen my latest community post, you should go and have a look, by the way. I have been posting about some crocodiles which I have recently made. Now those crocodiles were a lot of fun to make, but they also came with their own unique set of challenges. And when I say challenges, nothing too challenging. Each of those crocodiles had quite a few things going on in them, but some of the common themes that can be seen on both is that crocodile tummy. I mean, check it out. Doesn't that just look pretty cool? To me, that's one of the details that really makes the design. I am going to be sharing with you just how I came up with that design. First, let me tell you a little bit of a story. It's not too long though, I promise. While I was creating these crocodiles, and it was in the moment, and I kind of went into them not knowing exactly how I was going to make them, but the time was limited as to how that was going to happen. So I decided that the tummy needed to be a flat weave, particularly with the rainbow crocodile, because we needed to get the distinct color pattern. So we've got the blue and the pink. So I needed to find a way to do that. But also I was very limited in pink balloons and I had a reasonable amount of blue, but I just had to make it work and I didn't have a lot of playroom to figure out how. So the design itself, it really needed to have that single flat weave, but I don't really do flat weave. You might have caught that from looking at my tutorials. So the challenge was, how do I do a flat weave? And I did try Googling it because let's face it, there's a lot of great information out there on Google and YouTube, but I really couldn't see anything and I was getting pretty tired at, I want to say it was about 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and I just like, you know what, you can just make it work. So this is me showing you how to do it and how to make it work. So traditionally I do know how to do a flat weave, but it uses two balloons and they lay side by side, but that's not what I wanted for this design. What I wanted was just to have that single layer, because that's what I needed to really make that crocodile work. So I've just quickly put together this two-toned balloon weave, and as you can see, it does have two layers going on, but that would not give me the look that I was after. So if we compare that to what we're about to see, this next part might be a little bit chaotic, but it follows my balloon design theory principle of make it work. So what I mean by that is, when I'm faced with a balloon challenge and I have an idea of how I'm going to solve it, I just need to try and make it work as best as I can. Sometimes that might mean not being the most technical in my approach or throwing out some of the rules I normally follow, because I am quite hard on myself sometimes when it comes down to the balloon design and making sure it is perfectly done and perfectly executed in a way another balloon professional twister can appreciate. Sometimes I do take a different approach, and that's why I think it is needed for me to let go of those ideals, because in the end, the result is the prize. That's what everyone's going to be looking for. As long as it looks good, maybe it's not a technical approach you'd usually use, but someone, especially who's not a balloon artist, isn't always going to pick up all these things or look super closely. So I might be giving myself away a bit there, but just know that making it work with balloons is a lot easier than making it work with fabric. Am I right? So let's just get into how we're going to make that balloon flat weave. So for this design, we're going to be using these two contrasting blues so you can see how it builds up, but you can also actually just get away with using one single color balloon in the design and keep continuing with that as you go. So when I did the second version of the crocodile, I found it to be a lot quicker going because I only had to use that one different color and not be conscious of how those two tones were appearing. So I'm going to start off with the bubble. With my crocodiles, I did start off with something like this to join into the underarm area, and then I continued on making the woven balloon. Started with my bubbles and my pinch twist, and once I've determined exactly how long it needs to be, tip for when you are trying to get a nice spacing between the bubbles, just try and make sure that these bubbles are a little bit smaller than the actual width of the balloon. That helps it to rest in a bit nicer. As you can see here, I've made a bubble, and now Basically, I'm going to squish the air on this lighter blue bubble. You can see what I've done there. It's kind of distorting the shape of that balloon. You can see it's almost a little bit like a bean in shape. On the outside, we don't really see that. Now I'm just going to make a pinch twist with one of my balloons. So remembering in theory, these are all a single color balloon. So it won't matter which one of these that you bring back over here. When you are working with the one color, you might even lose track of which is which is fine. When we bring this balloon back over this side, making our tummy bubbles about the same length, I'm going to twist off my small spacer bubble and bringing that twist here into the pink and the balloon above it. Now doing the same technique we did before with the light blue balloon, just squishing the air. See what's going on underneath there, and twisting it around. Now to help this one stay in place, we're going to bring it around through the middle. Encourage that to stay there, and then we're going to make a small bubble and we are now on our way. So far I think it's off to a great start, but we are going to continue and keep on going. So pick either side, it doesn't matter which one. And when you're in such a position that the balloons are on either side of the design, it is a little bit easier to do this next row. So make my small bubble, followed by another with my pinch twist. Twisting off my middle piece. Here on my opposite side to capture that inside. Pick one of those balloon lengths and create a bubble to pinch with. Make a small bubble with one, flatten the other colour, twist it in, do our pinch twist. Let's bring the balloon back to the other side. A trick to help make these middle pieces be as even as possible is try and make these exactly the same length, paying attention to where those bubbles are all going to be aligned together. Small bubble, and around, squish the air, bring it up, and here we are. We keep on going, working with these lengths of the balloons. Basically, however you need to achieve it, what you want to have is bubble, pinch twist, bubble, pinch twist, bubble, pinch twist, bubble. You get the idea, right? Sometimes the method you use each time will be varied very slightly. And when we are in this position where we've got the two bubbles together, we twist one off first. We flatten and twist. Look at that little bean shape. And we do a pinch twist. And then when we're trying to get a balloon back to the opposite side, twist it off. Add your spacer bubble. Anchor it into the pinch twist. Squishing the air. Take the tail of the balloon. Wrap it in and around. And then do a pinch twist. Oh, and look at that, I stopped having the alternate color sides. Honestly, that's not something I'm paying attention to here, but when I did do that pink and blue tummy, you bet I was paying attention to it, but I was using a pink balloon on either side of his, and that was just the blue balloon running in between all the way. It was easier. It was the time of day that I really didn't want to be spending too much more time on it. But honestly, I was really pleased with the end result, so there is that. And the end result is what everyone's going to love and appreciate. Not always exactly how you got there, and that's just the icing on the cake. Now at this stage I've gone to the point where I can't get much more out of this balloon, so I'm going to finish it off with a pinch twist and secure it. I hope you're following along. I know it's a little bit tricky, but it is worth it, and I hope I'm explaining it well enough for you to be able to follow along with me. Fear not though, I'm going to make sure that in the description below I am going to have links to the different parts of the video, and you can perhaps have a try of rewatching certain parts. So for now, I'm going to also get rid of the other side, and I'm going to show you how I make it work just using one balloon and not having to futz around with two. So here I am starting off with my bubble and pinch twist. We have our length of tummy, twisting off the spacer bubble and bring that into your pinch twist. But here I am going to do the technique of flattening or squishing the air of the balloon towards the tail end. Bring that around and bring that through. And our pinch twist bubble. And I'm just going to make things a bit easier for myself here. I'm twisting off a bubble. So the difference between this bubble here and this bubble here is we have a uninflated length of balloon going in between the first and not the second. Visually on the outside though, can you see a difference? So we are going to be alternating using that method of squishing the air and not squishing the air to build up the rest of this body. Also though, if I was working with the two balloons in a single colour, I could have another one just sitting over this side, and I could be alternating the balloon that travels through the middle and just doing the side in whatever easiest method it is. Did that make sense? I really hope it did. But yeah, I really encourage you to play around with the style of this, how you're creating it, to see if you can do it in a way that works best for you. Squish that air. Round and through and pinch twist. I really like how that's building up. Let's go a few more in this way. I can feel the air escaping. Rude. Alright. That is something to be wary of, those pesky friction tears, so be gentle when you are moving the balloons through. what I did find helpful along the way when I was making the crocodile, I knew that this was being connected in and the front underarms, and this was going to be, well, whenever I had something like this around the back legs, that was perfect to have that little bit of extra length to tie in. So don't worry at this stage about removing any tail again, because you never know what one you might need. And you can keep on going until you get it to the length you want it to be. And as I was doing my crocodile, I began to taper in the tail as it got towards the end, and I finished it by crossing the last two bits over together. So I really hope this design has been helping you out, and I was finding it a little bit harder to explain the finer details. But if you'd like me to maybe do a live stream on this, hey, make sure to leave me a comment below and let me know. That is it for this video. If you haven't done so already, you know what to do. You need to like the video, and why not subscribe, because I have many more fun balloon ideas coming at you. Until next time, thank you for helping me to put a positive twist in your life, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye. That was a lot of fun. I think I'm ready to have a very long, good rest. Yeah.